And we are live. Welcome, dudes, to episode 17 of Chat with the Optimist. My name is Mike, and in today's episode, we're going to be working within Hitfilm. So, Hitfilm is a video editing program for desktop and laptop, which you can just download off their website. And we're going to be focusing on making a short in this little demo here, as well as, like usual, taking you step by step about everything in the video editing software. So we're going to hop right into it. Let me just get on my screen here. Great. So this is Hitfilm. When you first load in, this is what you're going to get on this screen here. So I'm just going to go to Create New. Now let's see if you can see that menu. Yes, you can. So here we can choose our settings. So we're going to go to Template, and we have a bunch of things to do here. Now we have quite a bit, and it'd be kind of confusing what we're looking for. Right now, there's a lot of options. So we're going to be making a YouTube short. So what that means is that we need our video to be vertical, long ways. And most of these are going to be widthwise. But let's just for now get 1080p by 30. Can we change this? Yes, we can. So I'm going to do this template here, and it changes all the options within our video. And now we see it's 1920 by 1080. That's standard HD, or that's HD TV, or whatever you call it, HD. But right now the width is longer than the height. So to get what we want, we're just going to reverse these numbers. So I'm going to type in 1080 here. Now we have a square, and we're going to do 1920. Oh, okay. We had to turn off this little thing right here, this link, because it's preserving the aspect ratio. So now we can change it. So 1080, and this will just remain the same. We're going to do 30 frames per second. That should be fine. And this is all good. Okay. It's taking quite a bit to load. Now, I've actually used Hitfilm in the past. I've taught some Hitfilm in some online classes before a couple years ago. So I have some experience with this. I'm going to know my way around this. I do know that there's different kind of versions of Hitfilm, so might be a little different, but looks like it's pretty much the same here. All right, so when we first come in here, I think you're going to see this, like this, the viewer. It just had me in the export button here, but this is what our layout is going to look like. So I believe up here to the top left will be our settings. Right here, when we change something about our video clip or images, it's going to be up here. To the right here, this big screen is going to be our viewport, where we can see the actual video, what it's looking like. Down to the bottom left, we have our library, where we can import our resources like our videos, music, and pictures. And to the right, we have our timeline. So to show you how everything's really working, I'm going to just import something. Let me just right-click here and go to Import. And I'm going to import a video that I recorded. So let's go to Download. Here we go. Perfect. So I imported it, but it's not in my project yet. So if it's here, it's in our little library, but we actually have to bring it into our project. So it's just loading it right now. Here we go. And this is our preview of what it looks like. So once it figures out the audio, we'll bring it over. Let me just make sure the stream's working properly. You can hear me, you can see me, and you can see the screen. Fantastic. So I'm just going to bring this over here, click and drag to our timeline. And now we get these green bars, which means this is our video. We're placing it in. And we know it worked if we see the video up here, which I don't right now. Interesting. Looks like it's still confirming stuff. Here we go. So we got our video in here. So if you notice, we have two bars here. We have one on the top here, one on the bottom. This top one represents the video itself, what you see, and the bottom represents the audio, what we hear. So because this video has audio, we're going to have two bars, one of them in the video layer and one in the audio layer. So now if you see what I was doing before, how do we move this video? We can, of course, press the play button that's right below our viewport, and it'll just play. I'm going to turn off the audio for now because I can't hear it, and you don't have to right now. So our video is playing, but we can also scroll through the video with our little ticker here, or a stick, I'll call it, or stick, that we can scroll through the whole video to see any part we want. Now, this video is about 7.5 minutes long, and we can tell where we are in the video by either this little blue time stamp right next to the stick, or right here, it tells us our exact time. This represents hours, minutes, seconds, and then frames. So we're at 3 minutes, 40 seconds, 18 frames. And remember, there's 30 frames per second in this project. So if we go, let me zoom in a little. We can zoom in with these little magnifying glass. So I'm going to go in right here so we can move very slowly like this. You see our ticker's going up. And once it goes over 29, it goes to the next second. So that's how we can tell our next thing. So with this zoom button, this wherever the stick will be the center, and we can zoom into that little area so we get more precise controls. So you see right here, we have something very precise, or we can see the whole thing by zooming out. Let's see. So now our video is in. What are we going to do with that right now? I want to take this step by step. So we can, of course, play it. But now let's say we actually want to edit it. So we want to cut some parts out, like this beginning part. You see, I'm just walking towards the camera. I don't want this, but I start talking here, so we're going to want that. So we can go to the edge of the timeline, and we get this little green bracket when we do. We can click and drag, and we can cut out that beginning part. You see, like right here, I start talking. So I just cut out that beginning part. So now it automatically starts. And we just have to make sure we click and drag, and bring it to the beginning of our project. So you don't have that blackness, like I'm going to Control Z to undo. We have this darkness that we don't want. We can, of course, click and drag and bring it back so it's not gone permanently. And we can also do this with the ending too. We can click and drag and get rid of that. Also a cool trick, wherever you put the stick, it can, if you bring your little drag close enough, it will automatically snap to it. So it's a good way to get precise cuts. Also, if we want to get something in the middle here, we can get rid of the end and we can get rid of the beginning. But if we want to get something right in the middle, like this part, say I made a mistake and I want to cut it out, we have something called the razor blade. So if we go to the left here, we have this tiny toolbar. So here, this one is just the mouse we've been using. This hand is to, it's going to be working. Nope, don't want to do that. Drag tool, wait, hold on 1 second. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure what this drag tool is really doing. But the more important part is the slice tool. It's a little razor blade. So we go to the part where we want to start to cut. Like say right here is where I make the mistake. I can just hover over a little stick it'll cut the video into two. So now we have two different elements. Like we can just completely move it away from each other. So we can edit it separately. So now this is the mistake, and then say this is where I recover right here. So I can go back to the slice tool and go over the ticker and make it 3 parts. So here's the beginning, more like good part here. This is the mistake part, and now here's the rest of the video. That's good. So now to get rid of this thing, we can just click it, hit delete, and we got rid of it. Now we can click and drag the rest of the video here. So now if we play it, we can see a quick jump cut. There we go. That's the jump cut there. So that's a good way to really get rid of some parts and get some good cuts. Now that's pretty hard of a cut. Like say, for example, even though this works because it's like the same shot, say I just completely change locations, or I want something smoother, smooth transition. We can apply a transition here. I think if we right click, no, it's not in here. So we're gonna have to go into the settings or effects. So the slice tool is kind of the basics of making stuff. Yep. Before I go into the effects, I'm not going to go there yet because that's going to open up another can of worms. So let's just stick to all the tools right now. We'll do the transitions later. So if we go down here, what's this? Slip, slide. We're not going to need any of that stuff. But what we will need is the tools up here. So this is what I was thinking of. You have another toolbar for our viewport. So if I click the mouse is just to move our objects around our screen. Hand is just to move the position, the whole viewport. Like for example, if I'm zooming in, I'm scrolling and I got to move over here, just use the hand. And then we have the text tool, which we can make a title or something. So I'm going to click and drag on here. And I'm going to type, what should I type? Welcome to my video. So there we go. And now to bring up the settings, let's see, I don't know where the settings are. I'm just going to click off there from now. But what you noticed is, zoom in, we now have a text block above our video. So anytime you make a new asset or bring in a new asset in, we've got a new block within our timeline. So I'm going to extend this outwards to like 1 minute. And we can move this to any part of the video that we want. But we're just going to keep in the beginning. So we have welcome to my video, but then a minute later, it's gone. So if I click on the text, get out of here. I want to know where the effects controls are. There's the effects in there, but where are our controls? Text. There we go. So we had to go to this little hamburger button here. So we have like our library, and then we'll actually do everything from here. So we'll go into text, and here we can change all the fonts and all that. So we don't even have to highlight the text, which is cool. We just have to make sure our text block is selected. So we can change the font size. Different fonts in here. Where's my Roboto that I use a lot? I like Roboto. Here we go. That's my standard font. And change the color to whatever you like. And then all different font settings. Like we went over in like the some of the other like image editing programs. A lot of good controls actually. So just formatting things, and they don't have any. Oh, we do have an outline. So let's see if we click that, what we get. We got a loading error. Make sure the stream's okay. Yep, we're looking pretty good. Still looking hot. So I just click that outline, and now we can, let me make it all black. We can have an outline around our video. You can make it bigger or smaller. So quick way to get some results. Overfill, underfill, ooh, centered, interesting. So simple, I'm not gonna go too deep into text right now, but we'll just keep that. Let me actually shorten this to like say, my computer's not liking the liking the text. That's okay. Uh-oh. Did that kick me out? Stream? Nope. I think we're okay. See my gaping mouth. Okay. We'll just shorten this to like 7 or 8 seconds here. So I'm going to click and drag to the ticker, and there we go. Can we rename this? So I'm going to rename the text. So I'm renaming the tracks or the layers here. Okay, I'm going to rename this as video. Cool. Now we got that there. Let's bring in an image. So I'm going to go to our flow container. No. Oh, doc. Oh God, what am I doing? So I'm moving the windows around. So usually what I do is when I mess it up, I go to Windows, Workspace, and then Reset Workspace. There we go. So we fixed it. Media, that's what we want. So I'm just going to Control-I to import, and I'm going to bring in an image now. Or that didn't work. So I'll just do that. Oh, yeah, that's right. The other image did not come in. Let's see. Here we go. We'll just use Rocky. We're using Rocky a lot. So what we can do is either bring him on his own level, or we can actually bring it in on this level here. For example, once the text disappears, I want this Rocky to appear. We can do it like that, or we can bring it in his own layer. I'm just going to move it further down the line, though. Actually, got to extend this a little. There we go. So now we got multiple elements in here. So now our image, say I'm going to extend it a bit. I'm just talking about this briefly. We have our image here. So say if we don't want it in front of my face, we can just click and drag and move it wherever we want. And we also have our scale, so we can resize it. You can hold shift to get a perfect aspect ratio. So I'm going to put this like right here. And then I'm going to rotate by this blue square right here. So the 3 basic animation we can do is translation, rotation, and scale. Great. So our next thing we want to do is like we can put it here and we can have it come in and out. But say if we want more control over this, let's see what we can do. I'm hoping this is not the case, but I'm going to go to Effects, go to Animation. Let's see. I'm going to just type in Transform. Translate. Scale. Okay. If you see anything with the red buttons, what that means is that we had to pay for it, so we don't want that. Trying to find where we can actually keying. No, that's with green screens. Hang on with me. So what I'm fearing, from what I kind of remember, which stinks, is that in order to actually do some animation on here, like even make it like move on the screen, we have to do something called make a composite shot. So I'm going to right click and go to make composite shot, and I'll just retitle this Rocky. You have this is good. Okay. And this gave us another part of the clip. Wasn't even going to work because, hold on. Loading again. No bueno. All right, it's in here, Rocky. So I think if we want to have some animation, we actually have to alter something. So effects, behavior. Oh my God, this is a lot of upgrade stuff. Transitions, no, don't like anything there. Yikes, McYikes. From what I kind of remember, I was going to do an. Let's see, I just do a plane quickly. Plane, break it down. I think what we have to do, like with movement, is like right click or open. Oh, okay, I see. Never mind. So the basic transformations. Oh my God. My computer's not responding to Hitfilm well. It is a resource intensive program, so that stinks. So I'm just gonna delete this or remove, and now I'm gonna open up this layer here, which we have our pup. So now I'm gonna open up transform, and this is where we can actually move some stuff. What I don't understand though is like, what I don't like about this, I remember now with composite shots that we can't do anything animation on here. We have to do everything in here. Which the thing is like from what you dudes will be doing, like making content, you're gonna be really just focusing on one video like I have. So we're gonna want it in here to have all our elements here because there's like we're not doing a whole lot. So this is just a very bad workflow for what we're doing. Is imagine you have text, like I want to make subtitles, and every time you put text like this in here, you have to make a composite shot. Click it, and now where is it? Make composite shot. It's even working for us there. But you would have to make a composite shot, then do the animation in here, which I'll briefly show you. Like I'm going to shrink this down. Screen, I'm going to move it up here. If you want to, I'm going to bring it to the beginning. So if we want to move it across the screen, we can click position and now move our slider or stick. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And I'm going to move across here like this. So now you see these little dots represents a position. So this position, this dot represents at 5 seconds, make this image go here. And this position means this dot means at 0 seconds, make this picture go here. So now if we play, it's going to slide over like this. Very cool. Now we can also do this with scale. So I'm going to click the circle with scale and also rotation and do the same thing. I'll do the scale or rotation will be pretty quick. So like this, and the scale will come later. Cool. So you see now, rotation stops, position stops, and now the scale keeps going. So that's basic animation, what we're doing. And also opacity. If you want it to disappear, we can just do this too, like hide it. But that's, and we should see it on here. Like if we go to our clip, I'll play. You see our Rockies doing that. But like, it's really difficult to get things to line up. So it's a very frustrating workflow from what I remember. I think it's like you have a lot of options in here. Like you see with these effects, but they're just kind of frustrating to use. And a lot of them now are just you need to upgrade for. So I just don't think it's worth it. Now I'm using it. Thank God because I completely forgot about the composite shots. But out of what we've done so far, which isn't a whole lot, this is probably the most similar to Adobe Premiere, which would be Adobe's video editing software, or even like their After Effects. But it just, I think that honestly kills it. That workflow is you have to do that so much, and it's so hard to line things up precisely. And the limited controls, it's just not very good. What we're doing last night, what were we doing? Oh wait, DaVinci Resolve, right? Didn't like it. Yeah, I don't think I liked it because of the what did I not like about it? I forget, but I remember that was just it was too complex. That's what it was. This could actually be pretty complex too, so I don't like that. It's probably the main things YouTubers would be doing is just those basics animations of like moving your video, scaling, rotating, and then text controls and image controls. So really basic stuff. Maybe some like keying where it's like if you have a green screen. But other than that, I'm seeing that we just need something simpler. I really think so. That's good with just the text and making shorts and making videos. That's what's really important. Is in all honesty, like even though when you see like people make their shorts or their reels, it seems like a lot, but and it is. But they're really just doing using a few tools and mastering them. Just keep using them over and over again. So, like I said, just moving things on the screen, doing some scale, maybe putting in some blurs and transitions, and that's it. It's really simpler than you think. So once you learn it, then you don't have to rely on one of these agencies where it's like, oh, I'm going to make you a short and I'm going to make you short and what do you call it? Charge you hundreds of dollars for them, which is ridiculous. It is. So you have more control and you realize that actually once you get a workflow going, a system, then it really does not take much time. It really doesn't. I made the shorts I made in the past with another channel. You get in a workflow and you have a template like in that software. You keep using the same file, just replacing the video. You can just really pump them out. You just got to be smart with what you're actually making the content with, like what video you're using, and is the part of the video you're clipping going to be valuable to your audience? Because if it's not, then you don't want to go through all that. But like I said, once you get down a system and get good with the tools, then it's a lot easier. So hopefully in the tomorrow or the next week or so, or even beyond that, I'll find a good video for you dudes. Like I said, CapCut, they have some good stuff, but they really lack a lot of the animations, so that's not going to be the number one. But I'll go through that again. But yeah, I think that's going to be it, dudes. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you dudes later. Peace.